Hey Fam Bam, welcome to today's episode. So I talk a lot about life optimization, and that can mean so many different things for different people. You know, we talk about fulfillment, living life on your terms, living an everyday vacation, and I realize that I really don't share much about my life here. Unless you follow me on Instagram, which even there I don't share much, I realize that you don't really know what has changed or how I've been creating my own everyday vacation for myself. So about 5 years ago, I did a video. I was talking about how I was saying goodbye to life as I know it. Like the world was crashing around me. And this was due to having spent so much time and energy building up this life that I thought was like a dream life in Hawaii, and we were living on the beach, and I was trying to scale my business and more just about fulfilling a dream that I thought was supposed to make me happy. I kind of got lost just going through the motions and trying to get to my goals, that I had stopped trying to address myself and really see if I was aligned every step of the way. My life now is mostly an everyday vacation, and as I move forward, it just continues to evolve closer. So it was just such a powerful and impactful, is that a word? Impactful experience and process for me that I created this step-by-step course. I called it the Everyday Vacation because it was my goal to live what felt like an everyday vacation. It's not for the faint-hearted, but it's for people who really want to get to the nitty-gritty of how to create foundational happiness, how to get really honest with yourself, and just build a foundation of bricks to catapult or launch or create your life moving forward on. This is what I felt like ultimately I had been missing in the previous years of my life. Like I had all these ideas that were great principles, but my life wasn't built on the foundation of those principles. They were just kind of cliche sayings or like ideas that I got behind, but I wasn't really digging deep and saying, am I really applying these principles to each area of my life? And so in 2016, when I created that video, we moved to Florida and kind of hit the reset and tried to really get to the nitty-gritty of all the little things that we felt like was important to address and to begin to evolve and improve. And so the key differences in my life today: work didn't change. And when I mean that work didn't change, for several years now, I have been running a micro gig on Fiverr.com, which several years ago, if I told you that, you would have not known what Fiverr is, but now Fiverr is very popular. But we were one of the first freelancers on Fiverr to offer yoga, spokesperson, commercial photography content, mostly to Amazon sellers and other companies. And that has expanded not only on Fiverr, but outside of Fiverr, and a lot of people that find me here and on the website. And that is our bread and butter. And while that didn't change because of the immense debt that I had to tackle, our approach did. By moving to Florida and reducing our economics, we were able to be more selective on the projects that we took on that was more aligned with our principles. Because if you haven't noticed yet, minimalism is a big thing for us, but our job relies heavily on marketing to consumers and promoting consumption and buying things, and maybe things that they may not even need, but putting it in such a light that it's like, hey, like, buy this. And so even though it's like, first world problem, like something didn't align fully, and I never want to be ungrateful for the opportunity or the lifestyle that it's created us, but I've really wanted for a long time and for years now to focus on creating and building my brand here with content that I can share that I feel like is really truly value adding and connecting with people in that realm. So we moved to Florida. The decision was hard, but not only the economics, family, the amenities available for work, and to get my health reset and everything just made it a lot easier. So my health was the next thing that changed. And that took time and effort, but the skills that I learned over the course of recovering from adrenal fatigue and everything that we talk about in the Level Up program and in the Everyday Vacation program, everything that we talk about here, that I share here, has created more resilience than I've ever experienced in my adult life, enough to now have just recently had a baby, run these 2 companies, homeschool our 2 kids, manage 5 acres. But we spend so much of our time protecting our time and energy to protect everything that we've got going on, because this is our everyday vacation. The lifestyle was the biggest surprise that changed for me, because I never in my life would have imagined not only feeling content and interested in, but extremely happy and balanced and fulfilled doing what I do now, which is still practicing minimalism. We now homestead, have fruit forest, chickens, all this stuff, which honestly, I used to be one of those people that was like, gardening is so boring. And now it's just like the thing that we love doing together. We are trying to be extremely frugal. And I say trying because sometimes it's hard. You know, you live on a 5-acre property with a pool, you have like 25 chickens and all this, and it doesn't feel frugal, but that's because we're living our everyday vacation. But what I mean by frugality is not just to like get things because it's interesting or, you know, I desire. It's to be extremely thoughtful about what we're doing and to think about ways to spend extra time and energy and effort to think about ways to reduce our consumption, or whether or not we actually really need the thing, you know, can we live without it, etc. And in addition to those things, just being an avid daily learner and family woman, which all these things were always important to me, but it was so bogged down with too many interests, unfinished projects, like consumption and things that were under the guise of minimalism and finding myself, but like all these things that took time, attention, and energy away from these very things that were the most important to me in my life. Everything is always a work in progress, but now nothing is ever on hold anymore. You know, we have the time and space to create as we go and continue to evolve. And with that, honestly, we probably shouldn't have bought this house when we did. We had just gotten out of debt and there was all these unforeseen expenses that I've talked about here, but really no regrets, because this space has created balance, ease for us in business, the way that we have our lifestyle, and we have just really created a lot of family memories and quality time together here. So I did give up some freedom to execute this prematurely, and it has been a good lesson. I wouldn't have done it if I know what I had learned today. So it's, you know, no regrets, but it's still nothing to lose other than comfort or preference. So I really want to be transparent here, because I think it's important to be honest about what you do, why, or the actions you take, what you learn from it, how you would do it different in the future. That's kind of a huge part of the purpose process and the everyday vacation formula, the 3 Ps. The third one is to purpose, which is not just to assess, evaluate, and remove all the things that, you know, don't add value into your life, but to revisit that cycle and to say, hey, I did this, like, how's it working out now? Do I need to adjust it? Did I make the wrong choice? Did I make the right choice? Could I have made a better choice? And to constantly refine and improve. That part is so important. And I just want to let you guys know that even though like things look happy and amazing and perfect here, it's not. Like, we're human, we live life. There are still stresses, there are still days that I'm exhausted and don't have balance and energy. It's not about being perfect or like displaying this perfect thing. Your everyday vacation might not be homesteading and living on 5 acres. It may look totally different from that. But the point is that we tend to feel like sometimes we don't have options when we get in this space, but that's not true. The truth is, it just comes down to what is most important to you, and your actions tell that, or your actions create that. So, you know, in the past, I might have said that what was most important to me was living on a beach in Hawaii, even though I had to work really hard for it. But the truth was, what was even more important to me was to be with my family and to have that experience daily with my family, because I'm never going to get this time with my kids back. So no matter what choice you make, and they could be little choices like what I have to eat today, me having ADHD and being sugar sensitive, I could have pancakes and that could totally ruin my mood, especially if it's coupled with bad sleep and let's say PMS. Or it could be a huge risk, like we buy a house and in the first year, spend well over $100,000 of unexpected whatever. Everything is a risk and you just got to move forward from that. But that's the point. Like if you don't take risks and you don't learn from your experience, then you're just kind of taking life as it comes, and that makes it extremely difficult to create and live life on your terms. So regardless of what is in your life or what is not in your life, it's about trying to make those calculated, chosen experiences that are most important to you. The next thing that I noticed that was totally different and probably much harder to quantify is my mindset. I used to take these principles and they used to feel like something that I should do, that I wanted to do, that I was practicing doing, but oftentimes could be hard for me. I mean, simple thing was just like food. I was very much addicted to my food. And while I can enjoy like a bowl of ice cream now or like, something sugary or sweet, I don't feel that like feeling of, oh, I just want to eat this now, like, oh, but I can't. Like that feeling has largely been removed in many areas, from food to consumption, things like scrolling social media or shopping. So where I used to spend my time, and I really can't even remember what I wasted my time on because that's how not important those things were. I fill my time now with entertaining things like Duolingo or reading, listening to audiobooks and podcasts. Most of the time, my free time is either spending with the kids and family or gardening. And I try really hard to, do yoga and prioritize my health. And that feels good rather than telling myself I should do it and then it feeling like a punishment or just something that I dread doing, if that makes sense. I found that the most important things to me that I really enjoy and are entertained by as a hobby is business and investing. I enjoy reading and learning about those things. I mean, outside of gardening. And so there isn't this need to be a painter and be a pianist and learn gymnastics and all these other things that I was trying to do. And nothing's wrong with any of those hobbies, but it was just once I identified what things like I really could spend a lot of time on and thoroughly enjoyed and felt enriched by, those things kind of were okay to not have time for. So with all that said, these are the main major differences that I've seen in my life in the last 5 years thus far, journeying this everyday vacation process. It's why I'm here. It's what I'm excited to share with you. Not that you need to have a life that looks like mine, but that you can have the time, energy, resources to create whatever your everyday vacation looks like for you, to feel balanced. And it's okay if it feels overwhelming at times. Like, the whole point is to be able to maintain that balance. Like I really truly feel like you can feel like you have it all when in reality you can't have it all. There's too many things in life to be interested and entertained by, and it's always evolving. There's always things to improve. You're shifting and evolving. So while some things might be an everyday vacation for you today, that might look different 3 to 5 years from now. You're just gonna have to let me know if an episode like this is helpful for you to see and hear what it is and how it looks like in my life. I often don't like talking about my life because I don't really see the value, but I realize like it might be helpful for you to see like how I experience it, just the way that I'm interested in how you experience it. So anyways, I'm done babbling. Obviously this is unscripted. Let me know if you like those too. And make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe for more ways to level up your time and energy, and I'll see you next time. Ciao, fandom.